Hello.
Wee.
Wee.
All right. Well, let's see whose voice dies first. Yay. Cold and flu season.
Yay.
Yeah, I have been a hot mess express in the sinus region for a week and a couple of days.
Mm-hmm.
But feeling human-ish today.
Human-esque.
Human-esque. As close to human as I felt in like a week.
I don't want to be human.
Aliens are better.
Aliens are better.
Let's be aliens.
Let's be aliens.
All right. Sounds good to me.
Yeah. Well, welcome to Weird Shit Wednesday, guys.
Apparently we're aliens now.
We are aliens
Woo!
now. Woo!
Well, that kind of goes along with a little bit of at least one of something I'm talking about today. So
Fun.
I'm actually going to talk a little bit about aliens in one of my...
Ooh. Okay.
Just saying.
I
tease.
make a nod to aliens.
Ooh.
I don't directly talk about them, but like it could be suspicious alien activity. You know?
Okay. I like it.
Oh, that's right. I didn't text you a preview.
No, I didn't. I have no idea what I'm getting this time. I texted you a preview.
You did.
I was nice.
Yes.
No. Do I get anything in response? No.
I forgot.
That's okay. I'll forgive you. I do have sort of a book report today.
Can confirm. It's like a quarter of a book
And
report.
this is only 2 because my third one is
okay.
in an actual
then,
book.
Yes, you have an actual book report then.
So I have a literal book report. I'm actually reading a story out of a book today that I'll talk about when I get to Spooky Spotlight.
Alrighty.
But, yeah.
Should we get into some creature features?
Yes. Who should go first?
I'll go.
All right.
Alrighty.
Introduce me to your creature.
Yes. I am not 100% sure how I got on the track of finding this.
Okay.
I was like...
Mystery?
Yeah. No, I was like, what do I want to do? Like, I was trying to think of, like, something holiday related. And also, like, I was thinking, like, Christmas trees and whatnot. And then somehow on my Facebook thing, I saw a video about Venus flytraps.
Ooh.
And that got me thinking about carnivorous plants.
I do really want a Venus flytrap. It's
They're
on my,
cool.
like, plant wish list, but they're really hard to care for, so I've
They are finicky.
not gotten one because I probably would just kill it.
Yeah. So I kind of went, I'm like, oh, well, we talk about cryptids, and they're usually, like, animal-esque. I'm like, are there any cryptid plants?
Ooh. I actually don't. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I guess we don't really talk about that.
No?
The only thing that comes to mind is, like, Audrey 2 from Little Shop of Horrors.
Exactly. That's kind of what I was thinking as well.
Which, love.
Feed me.
Feed me, Seymour.
Seymour. So I kind of went down the rabbit hole with this, and I found a really cool article on puntoscuro.com. The article is by Rosie Keller,
All right.
and the topic is man-eating trees.
Cool.
Yeah.
All right.
So we're going to talk about some...
Tell me where I can find one to plant in my yard.
You know what? We'll find out.
Because if the men piss me off.
We'll just feed them to the trees.
Hey, honey, go check that tree out there.
Yeah.
Go get real close and personal with it.
Yeah. That tree needs some
pruning. Yeah. Here.
Yeah, and the pruning will
I'll be in
you.
Yep.
All right, so we're going to dive in. We're going to Latin America.
Ooh, get some spicy with it.
Yes. So, this legend it exists in Latin American folktales. A sinister tree that makes a hissing sound that resembles the Spanish phrase "Ya te veo," which means "now I see you."
Creepy.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
El ya te veo is said to use its thorns to trap and consume its prey, including humans.
Damn. All right. So it's not only eating you, it's thorning you to death.
Mm-hmm. It's like, boop, trap.
That's one thorny tree.
Mm-hmm. He's got a thorn to pick with you. I love where our brains are going.
You thorny, baby.
Feed me, Seymour.
I can't laugh.
We're dying.
I'm alive. I'm dead. I'm alive again. I'm looking at you. Funky. I'm not fast enough, boy. Yeah, that's where we're at today.
You're welcome. Alrighty. So more on these trees. In 1987, author J.W. Buell, in his scientific, air quotes, scientific book, Sea and Land, it details a version of the Yatevo. It's an illustrated history of wonderful and curious things of nature existing before and since the deluge. Not 100% sure what the deluge is, but
A deluge.
It's like, cause that's
it's like a sudden onset of rain that
Yeah.
causes flooding, or like, I guess in like less literal terms, it's like a sudden, like, you can have like a deluge of information or a deluge of a fad. It's like sudden, like, overwhelming amount of something.
that makes sense.
I don't know.
Yeah, so maybe he's alluding to like a specific deluge that happened.
Yeah.
But in the account, it talks about the Yateveo, a mythical tree that is whispered in Central and South America. According to Buell, the tree had enormous snakes in a furious discussion that from time to time are thrown from side to side of the other as if hitting an imaginary enemy, which would then squeeze their prey and devour them. So I'm picturing like this big, like, we have a lovely depiction.
It's literally like if Medusa was a tree.
Yeah, pretty much.
I kind of love it. It's pretty. It'd be kind of fun to paint.
That would be cool to paint. That would be super cool.
Okay.
So cryptobotany is a word
Never heard of it.
that I found. I was like, I had never heard
I
of
like
that
it.
either. I do too. So cryptobotany, it is the study of various exotic plants which are not believed to exist by the scientific community, but which exist in myth, literature, or unsubstantiated reports.
Okay. It's like cryptozoology, but with plants.
For plants.
Cool. All right.
Yeah. So Latin America is home to a wealth of crypto-botanical folklore and mythology, and some of the most fascinating stories revolve around man-eating plants and trees. These come hombres, or man-eaters, are said to lurk in the rainforests and swamps of Uruguay and Brazil, to name a few, waiting to snatch up unsuspecting travelers. You know, it makes sense that Latin America or like South America would have like a lot of like crypto-botanical like, stories and things.
I mean,
because,
the Amazon rainforest is fucking huge.
Like I know scientists have estimated that we've only discovered like maybe a quarter of the like wildlife and plants that live there.
Yeah.
Because there's so much
It's
that's
so
still unidentified. It's so dense, and a lot of things are still unidentified, and they're still finding new species.
Yeah.
To this day.
So who knows?
Yeah. So.
Thorny man-eating trees could exist out there somewhere. Maybe that's what happened to the two girls from my story last month.
Man-eating tree!
They got eaten by a tree.
They got eaten by the Yateveo.
It was Peru. That's not that far.
No, it's
from
not.
Brazil or Uruguay.
Oh, we got theories, guys.
That's just canon now.
So legends about man-eating plants go back as far as the 2nd century AD due to Lucian Samosata, I probably just botched that. So
Sounds
Samosata. Samosata.
samosata. That's how I would say it too.
Yeah.
Samosata.
Samosata. Yep.
Or samosata.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's a Greek philosopher, so
I can't speak Greek.
Yeah, so this Greek philosopher who claimed an amazing story of some plant women who seduced sailors in order to devour them. It's kind of like a plant version of a siren. Interesting.
I'm liking this more and more.
I know, it's fun.
It's giving me ideas for future writing endeavors.
These stories, it was confirmed in publication Review of Reviews, a noted British journal of current events, for example, that in the Mexican Sierra Madre, a tree whose roots had trapped a dog of a naturalist, a man named Dunstan, who had a hard time freeing his pet, and when he did so, he discovered the plant had drained most of the animal's blood.
Puppy!
Yeah, my poor doggo.
Bad plant. I don't like you as much anymore.
I know. It's like, don't
eat men? Awesome.
Yeah.
Eat dogs?
No. So while it's true there are carnivorous plants in nature, even some with similar characteristics as I've already described, there are about 630 species of them, plus 300 that are considered proto-carnivores, which means like they eat like a mixture of things. For the most part, they are satisfied with catching and swallowing insects or arthropods. They use a variety of traps, such as sticky stems or irresistible scents combined with powerful traps. None are large enough to make a human their meal, although there have been some that have been known to capture a small rodent or frog.
Poor frogs.
I know. Frogs. No, froggy. They frogs.
Victoria would like that. We should get her the frog-eating plant. She would be happy.
And funny enough, this Venus flytrap is big enough that this is actually a picture.
A frog.
Yep, it's a frog.
Dang, all right.
So
That's a big Venus flytrap.
It's huge. It's probably like the size of my hand.
Because they're usually like the end of your thumb at biggest.
They're
not very big.
No.
They eat flies.
But who knows? In the bright settings, they probably can get that big.
Oh, I'm sure. With the proper food source and temperature and care.
Mm-hmm. So it's no wonder there's so with all these like examples of like real life nature ones and these mysteries, there's no shortage of like literature and films featuring botanical villains. To name a few: the Whomping Willow from Harry Potter, the classic Invasion of the Body Snatchers, and there's, like we mentioned before, Audrey 2. I think she's probably like the most classical.
Iconic.
Although,
is she plant or is she alien?
Ooh.
Because it's kind of ambiguous in the show.
That's true. That's very true. We shall see. So, fictional botanical horror aside, there are tales of many cryptid man-eating trees in Latin America. One of the most noteworthy is the matapolo, or tree killer. Ooh. Like many common creepers, this tree is said to have a parasitic vine that grows around other trees and eventually kills them.
Damn, all right.
He's like, nah, I'm good to take my space.
Move over, bitch. I'm coming through.
I'm coming up, so you better get this vine started. Legend has it the matapolo is able to sense the presence of humans and will attack them with its vines.
Damn.
Another carnivorous plant that is said to inhabit South America is the, I'm going to botch this, Madeira de Inferno, or hellwood. That was actually pretty good. Yay! The hellwood is a mythical tree that grows in swamps and marshes. It is said to have poisonous thorns that can kill anyone who comes in contact with them. Damn. The hellwood attracts its prey with a seductive foul odor. Which is like...
That's an oxymoron.
That is. I was like,
There is nothing seductive about the word foul.
In Asia, I don't know the exact region of it. Some region of like China or around there where prisoners would essentially be tortured by, they would lay them over fresh bamboo shoots.
Yeah.
And they would like sharpen the point, and bamboo just keeps growing because it's a thriving bitch. And
and it grows fast.
So essentially just laying victims over it, and they are eventually impaled. By the bamboo.
They would also insert bamboo shoots under the fingernails.
Nope.
That was a common wartime torture in, I think, Japan or China. I can't remember which one now.
Nope.
Yep.
Nope.
Makes you talk real quick, I bet. They'd be like, you can...
Nope,
we're good. Yeah. Anything you want to know, it's yours.
Yeah, if anyone needs a quick way to get info out of me, like threaten anything regarding my nails, that's like a actual like fear I have of my nails getting like
ripped off or like
it's something.
Another form of torture.
Yeah, like
it's that one episode of Supernatural, the Christmas episode, where they rip off Sam's fingernail. Really doesn't do it for you.
Nope.
It does sound like genuinely. That sounds, as someone I've had a toenail ripped off before, not fully, but like enough of it to know like fuck. Yeah. And I've broken fingernails deep enough to like where they're like, it doesn't feel good.
No,
I can't imagine having it like. Nope.
Yep.
Pass. Hard pass. All right. Well, minus that little segue into torture.
Yeah. Blech. Poof. All right, and then finally, for all these lovely carnivorous trees we have, there is Forsythia exoriza, also known as the walking tree. This tree is rumored to have been able to move around on its roots, so like an ent.
Oh, it's like the ones from Lord of the Rings. That's what first came to mind.
I am no tree.
I'm
an ent.
Easily my favorite characters in the entire series.
I love Treebeard.
Treebeard is amazing. I love the idea of these giant, wise tree beings just fucking some shit up.
Exactly. And they have a great point of, like, hold your words, like, closely, because they even say, we don't say anything unless it's worth taking a long time to say it.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, own your power, own your words. Like, don't speak
just spew shit for no reason.
Exactly. So,
I like them.
I know some people that could take that advice to
I
heart.
know a lot of people that could take that advice to heart, but, you know.
Yeah, you know.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So the walking tree, it's rumored to be able to move around on its roots and is said to have been known to attack humans who trespass. Of course, there's no scientific evidence, air quotes, to support the existence of these creatures, but that doesn't stop people from believing in them. Perhaps many stories from our storytelling cultures, they exist only to frighten children who misbehave. The Yatsevo, Kalamtu, and Socratea Exorizia are all part of Latin American folklore, and they continue to be a source of fear and fascination for many people. So what do we think? Man-eating plants or just figments of our imaginations?
Oh, I guarantee there's some sort of man-eating plant out there somewhere that we have not met.
Oh, yeah.
Even if it's not, like, at this level of, like, moving on its own, blah, 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 like, there's gotta be some sort of plant where it could, like, if you fell into it, its secretions would eat you alive.
Exactly.
Like what is it, the pitcher plant?
Yeah.
The white plant? But, like, a human-sized pitcher plant.
Mm-hmm. Oh, that'd be insane. That makes me think of Journey to the Center of the Earth. Yeah. Like, where everything's, like, huge and...
Or, again, you still need to watch this movie. We're having a movie day sometime this month where you are going to watch Quest for Camelot, because there are plants in that, like, punch people in the face.
Ooh, yeah. Oh, I just thought of another, like, plant. I can't remember. Devil Snare from Harry Potter in the first one. Because, like, that one technically is not carnivorous, but it does, like...
It attacks you.
It definitely attacks you, and you probably would be strangled to death by it if
you weren't rescued, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I don't know. The walking trees are kind of cool. I've heard of those before, and I think they're kind of sweet.
Nice.
It's like Rango when the cactuses are making their way across the
desert. Rango.
I love that movie.
I love
That's
that
such
movie.
a good movie.
It's so good.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well,
what do you got for me?
Shall we shift to a little mischievous critter?
Yes.
So this is the only one I tied my tarot card to, which I am kind of disappointed in myself because I got a really good tarot card, but I got sucked down a rabbit hole for my What in the World and my Spooky Spotlight that I really wanted to do because it's like festive related, holiday season related. So, but this one is directly tied to my card. So
nice. It's okay. You can feel justified that you at least got one tied to your card because I just went down a rabbit hole with these, completely forgot to tie it into anything. And I forgot what my tarot card was. And when I went back to listen to the episode to remind myself, that section was cut out. So I don't even know what I had.
Which I still don't know how that happened.
I don't either. Because like we were finishing up our conversation about Akala, and then we jumped right into saying our goodbyes. I was like, wait, what?
Huh. I don't know what happened there. Sometimes my editing skills, things happen.
Things happen. That's okay.
It's fair. But so if you, which you didn't hear this, but last month I drew the Magician for my card, which the Magician represents like creativity and growth and all this like wonderful, awesome artsy fartsy stuff. But I actually went with the reverse of the Magician.
Ooh.
Which represents trickery or mischievous behavior.
Well, you love a reverse.
So I decided I was going to talk about one of the most infamous tricksters of lore, who also happens to be one of my favorite characters from classical literature. So I'm going to begin with one of this creature's monologues.
Okay.
That appears in a classic Shakespearean play.
Ooh.
And then we'll get into it.
Okay.
So here is one of the more well-recognized monologues. I'm going to attempt Shakespearean. Bear with me. Thou speakest aright. I am that merry wanderer of the night. I jest to Oberon and make him smile, when I a fat and bean-fed horse beguile, neighing in likeness of a filly foal, and sometime lurk in a gossip's bowl, in very likeness of a roasted crab, and when she drinks, against her lips I bob, and on her withered dewlap pour the ale. I don't know what that word means. The wisest aunt telling the saddest tale. Some time for 3-foot soul mistaketh me, then slip I from her bum, down topples she, and Taylor cries and falls into a cough, and then the whole choir hold their hips and laugh, and waxen in their mirth and knees and swear a merrier hour was never wasted there.
It's Puck!
It's Puck! We're going to talk about Puck.
I love A Midsummer's Night Dream. This is my favorite Shakespeare
Me
play.
too!
That's what my tattoo has.
Side quest. When I went to London, one of my number one things I said we had to go to was the Globe Theatre, and we did. We got to go tour the Globe Theatre where Shakespeare's plays happened. I got to stand on the stage. It was super fucking cool. And I bought a t-shirt with a quote from A Midsummer Night's Dream.
Yay!
Do I know where that t-shirt is now? No, I lost it sometime along the way.
No!
It was really cute. It was a quote from Puck.
Yes. So we were just saying we have to go back to get you another one.
Get a new one, yeah. We definitely need to go to London. I think we just added on to our Scotland trip.
Yep.
We'll just do all of the UK.
Yep.
Scotland, Wales, England.
There you go.
Done. But yes, we are going to talk about Puck / Robin Goodfellow.
Okay.
Because many people believe them to be one and the same.
Oh.
And that there's actual historical evidence that Puck was the inspiration for Robin Goodfellow, which eventually leads to Robin Hood.
Oh.
So,
layers.
My source is from a writer named Alan W. Wright, and he wrote this whole article called Puck Through the Ages, A History of a Hobgoblin by Alan W. Wright. So I'm going to take from his, because he does a really nice job of kind of outlining the history of Puck, but then also gets into the Robin Goodfellow of it all. So, a creature of many names, one of the most popular characters in English folklore over the last 1,000 years, had been the fairy goblin, devil, or imp, known by the name of Puck, or Robin Goodfellow. Mm-hmm. The Welsh call him Pwca, Pwca, which is pronounced as the same as its Irish incantation, Pwca.
Gotcha.
Those are far from his only names, however. Pwc was a typical medieval term for the devil. For example, Langland once called hell Pwc's pinfold. And the Pwca were sometimes pictured as a frightening creature with the head of an ass. Truly a devil to behold. The Welsh Pwca also did not match modern concepts of the dainty Tinkerbell fairies that we think of today. Mm-hmm. According to Lois Imogen Guinea, a peasant drew the Pwca as a queer little figure, long and grotesque, and looked something like a chicken half out of its shell. Which is kind of funny to imagine.
Yeah.
As a shapeshifter, Puck has had many appearances over the years. He has been found in the form of animals, like how the Pwca can sometimes become a horse, eagle, or donkey. Mm-hmm. He's been a rough, hairy creature in many versions. One Irish story has him as an old man. He's been pictured like a brownie or a hobbit in some. In a 1785 painting by William Blake, he looks a bit like Pan from Greek mythology. And in a 1841 painting by Richard Dadd, Puck looks like an innocent child. More modern cartoons will portray him often as a silver-haired elf.
Interesting. Yeah, a lot of different variations.
A lot of
because most depiction plays that I've seen Puck in, for Midsummer Night's Dream, he's presented as a satyr.
Yes. We'll get to that. But yes, Puck is maybe depicted in such different ways because he is a shapeshifter.
That's true, too.
So, he uses his shapeshifting skills to make mischief. Mm-hmm. For example, the Pwca will turn into horses and lead people on wild rides, sometimes dumping them into the sea. The Welsh Pwca would leave travelers with a lantern and then blow it out when at the edge of a cliff. Being misled by a Puck is known in the Midlands as being Puck-ledded. There are a lot of phrases that are called such as being pixie-led, which describes similar actions on the part of the fairies known as pixies, mm-hmm. which Puck is believed to be some form of pixie.
Makes sense.
Some believe the term pixie is derived from Puck, actually. Yet other expressions for being lost is, quote, Robin Goodfellow has been with you tonight. And there's references to this phrase as early as 1531.
Now I kind of want to write a little short story and be like, you're just
A night with Robin Goodfellow.
You were out with Robin Goodfellow, weren't you?
Mm-hmm. Sounds like a good time, not gonna lie.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe not the cliff part, but
Yeah.
horseback riding, go for a little swim,
Yeah.
all good fun. Robin Goodfellow is one of the fairies known as hobgoblins, or just hobs. Hob is a short form for the name Robin or Robert, or the goblin named Robin. Robin itself was a medieval nickname for the devil as well. And Robin Goodfellow is not only famous for shape-shifting and misleading travelers, he was also a helpful domestic sprite, much like brownies. He would clean houses and such in exchange for cream or milk. If offered new clothes, he would stop cleaning. There are stories of the Pooka doing similar deeds. Ironically, Reginald Scott wrote in 1584 that belief in Robin Goodfellow was not as strong as it had been a century earlier. In fact, Robin was about to get some big breaks and run the Renaissance show business.
Huh. I just had a thought. When you say that if they were offered new clothes, they would stop cleaning, that makes me think of the house elves from Harry Potter, because if they were given new clothes, they were free. And
We're gonna get there!
Sorry, my brain likes to make connections.
No, you're completely accurate, because actually one of the things I talk about in here is the fact that Dobby is a Pooka.
Yes!
Is a hobgoblin. But yes, there's a record for Robin Goodfellow ballad in 1588, and a little less than a decade later, William Shakespeare gave his Puck the name and nature of the more benevolent Robin Goodfellow. However, Shakespeare's Puck is more closely tied to the fairy court than most Pucks or Robin Goodfellow in other literature.
Oh, fairy court.
There's a long quotation from A Midsummer Night's Dream, from a meeting between Puck and one of Titiana's fairies, that sums up Robin Goodfellow's nature better than anyone else could. And it says, having Shakespeare as a publicist certainly did not hurt Puck or Robin Goodfellow's career. Prior to Shakespeare, who may have been influenced by the Welsh Pooka, Puck and Robin Goodfellow were considered separate creatures. However, after Shakespeare, they are now considered one and the same. A Midsummer Night's Dream remains one of Shakespeare's most performed plays. Perfect for a forest-like setting, this classic is performed every summer in parks around the world, and is also our favorite. There may be a connection between Robin Hood and Robin Goodfellow also. Many pagans feel Robin Hood was originally a fairy or pagan god. Mm-hmm. This case is often overstated, as there is little magic in the earliest Robin Hood tales, but still the two Robins have many things in common. Both had a penchant for giving travelers a hard time. Puck was a shapeshifter. Robin Hood was a master of disguise. Mm-hmm. Gillian Edwards notes that the Goodfellow and Robin Goodfellow's name could either mean a boon companion or a thief. If you were one of Hood's archers and looked upon him as a boon companion, or the Sheriff of Nottingham and pursued him as a thief, you might consider him equally well named Robin Goodfellow, is one of the quotes from her story. Since the Robin Goodfellow ballads appear later than the Robin Hood ones, it's possible that the fairy may have taken his name from the outlaw, not the other way around. Even though after Shakespeare, fairies seemed more dainty and inoffensive than their heroic or demonic medieval forms, Puck and Robin Goodfellow still had their critics. Puritans, like Robert Burton, felt fairies were devils, including hobgoblins and Robin Goodfellows. In his Anatomy of Melancholy, which just sounds like such a cheerful read.
Yeah.
Burton writes, quote, terrestrial devils are those lares, genii, faunas, satyrs, wood nymphs, foliots, fairies, Robin Goodfellows, truly, etc. Which is they are most conversant with men, so they do them most harm. But the hobgoblins were so despised in the 17th century, Puritans became a much beloved figure in children's literature in our own century, much thanks to Rudyard Kipling. Two English children, Dan and Una, were performing a simplified version of A Midsummer Night's Dream when Puck, the last of the people of the hills, as he's referred to, or fair folk, appeared before them. Kipling used the play A Midsummer Night's Dream with his own children, and in a series of popular stories, wrote what's called Puck of Pook's Hill in 1906. Mm-hmm. And then he also went on to write Rewards and Fairies in 1910. He loved delighting his children with stories of Puck and tales of the many fae folk from England's past. But Kipling's Puck was very critical of the common images of fairies in the beginning of the 20th century. He said, quote, "Can you wonder what the people of the hills don't care to be confused with that painty-winged wand-waving, sugar-and-shake-your-head set of imposters, butterfly wings and dead. So apparently, Kipling liked the old version of Puck better, which I kind of agree.
That's fair. A little more rugged.
Fairies, I think, I kind of like the idea of fairies appearing dainty, and because they're so like dangerous.
Yeah.
But you don't, like, I feel like the like
It's
air
misleading.
of like, oh, I'm sweet and innocent, but I will fuck your
you up.
world up is kind of awesome.
Yeah.
Anyway, Puck continues to pop up in popular culture. For example, the 6-foot-tall invisible rabbit in the classic Jimmy Stewart film Harvey is said to be a puka.
Okay.
There are several movie and television versions of Midsummer's Night Dream, of course. 14-year-old Mickey Rooney played a youthful Puck in the 1935 film A Wild Child. And Stanley Tucci, I love him, played a much older, somewhat wearier Puck in the 1999 film Midsummer.
I love it.
I love Stanley Tucci.
He's a gem.
He is like a national treasure
He's an
and to be protected.
He's an icon.
He is. The only straight man that I will allow to play a gay man.
Yep.
Without question.
Yep, 100%.
And he's believable.
Yep.
I digress. Stage versions of A Midsummer Night's Dream are still very popular today. In 1970, Peter Brook's staging for the Royal Shakespeare Company was set in a sparse white box of a stage, and it's considered kind of the landmark of the 20th century theater. During this, Paul Kane played Puck in the original and relied us on circus tricks for his fairy magic. The play is also a popular one for LGBTQ plus interpretations, and Puck is often portrayed as openly queer-coded.
Hell yeah.
Which, love it. For example, Puck kisses Oberon in the 1996 film, and Oberon plants a kiss on Puck in the 2013 stage production from the Globe, which is one of the first same-sex kisses at the Globe in history. Which is really cool.
Hell yeah.
If being a movie star didn't give Puck a swelled head, having a moon named after him might. The 10th movement of Uranus, which feels so perfect, was discovered in 1985 and is named Puck.
Love it.
There's also a novel called Fairy Tale by Raymond E. Feist, during which Puck appears as one of various characters haunting upstate New York. It is also possible that the true Puck in the story Ariel, which is a fellow Shakespearean fairy from The Tempest, and another named another moon of Uranus. So there's some connections there.
Isn't there a moon named Oberon as well?
I think
that's
so.
one of Saturn's or
That
Jupiter's.
might be. That sounds right. Yeah.
Like, we're just getting all the Shakespearean.
Apparently
characters.
Shakespeare. Well, I mean, hey, we love some Shakespeare.
That's true.
I love me some William Shakespeare. I have all of his works in a singular, ginormous book upstairs.
Love it.
Jackie Rowan, the heroine of Canadian author Charles DeLint's contemporary fantasy novel Jack the Giant Killer, is also referred to as a Puck. And in the sequel, Drink Down the Moon, he met Jenny Pook, a young female sax player who is the newest Pook of Pooksil, the fairy realm which overlaps in this story.
Cool.
And a lot of people reference Kipling's book in connection to these and stuff. Like, there's some crossover characters.
Gotcha.
The Shakespearean Puck was cited in DeLint's fictional city of Newford as well. And so there's all these, like, ties in. The connection with Robin Hood is still strong as well. Puck shows up as a silent and cryptic figure in Clayton Emery's 1988 novel, The Tales of Robin Hood, which is now titled The Beasts of Sherwood. And in Parker Goodwin's Sherwood, Robin takes his name from the forest sprite. His mother even calls him Puck Robin. Puck is also a recurring character in Disney cartoon Gargoyles, which I had a really interesting conversation with people online about recently.
Okay.
Have you ever seen Gargoyles?
I've not.
Okay, talk about a sexual awakening.
Okay.
If you are a 90s child, you will understand me right now. Gargoyles was an animated TV show about this young female cop detective who discovers that the gargoyles atop the Empire State Building come to life at night.
Oh.
And they help her fight crime.
I love this.
And they are this hodgepodge band of characters from, like, they were shipped there from, like, a medieval castle that was cursed. It's this whole thing. Goliath is the main gargoyle. He's like the leader of the gargoyles. That animated piece of rock had no business being as sexy as he was.
Okay. Do I need to look this up now?
You need to look it up.
I'm pulling my phone out right now, literally.
It's a whole thing, and I was obsessed with this TV show as a kid. Like, I maintain that this is where I get my Disney's Gargoyles. Yeah, it's on Disney Plus. Like, you can actively watch it right now.
Okay, I've seen pictures of this.
Yeah, I maintain that Goliath is directly responsible for my obsession. Right? Yes, of course he's purple.
Okay, I see
my obsession with large, muscly men with deep voices.
I see it
because he has a very deep, sexy voice.
I can see it.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. But there is a character in there called Puck. It was voiced by Brent Spinner, who was also on Star Trek: The Next Generation.
Fun.
I digress. Puck also has a secret identity for most of the series as a corporate bad guy's faithful servant, who's voiced by Jeff Bennett. As Puck, he observes all the parts as a trickster has played. Never before has he been the straight man. Disney Puck has a surprisingly large fan base as well. And when the writer was writing this article, there were many websites dedicated to the trickster and his matter-of-fact alter ego, Owen. There is even a Church of Puck.
Okay.
He goes on to write, I wonder what the Puritans would have thought of that. Yep. But in 2010...
I wonder if they're at that Church of Puck, their exclamations are, Holy Puck!
What the Puck?
What the Puck?
I love it.
Oh, my Puck.
But yeah, there's a lot of references to Puck in modern times. They mention Dobby being a hobgoblin. And yes, if you give them clothing, they are free. Of course, hobbits in Lord of the Rings could quite easily be connected to hobgoblins or pucks, at least in stature. It's not like a direct correlation.
In
but
stature, not in nature.
There's some influence there.
Pippin, however.
Pippin is definitely a puck.
Pippin is a puck.
I love Pippin. He's my favorite hobbit. In the 2010 young adult novel, The Iron King, the first of Julie Kagawa's Iron Fae series, Robbie Goodfellow is the best friend of the main character, Megan Chase. And in the Netflix TV series, The Chilling Adventures of Sabrina, Jonathan Whitsell plays a red cat wearing Robin Goodfellow, a love entrance to the transgender boy Theo Putnam. And naturally, he turns out to be a hobgoblin, as befits his natural name. So, pucks have been around forever.
Pucks.
They will continue to be around forever. I love it.
Puck.
Oh, Puck. What the Puck?
What the Puck, man?
Should we
Puck it.
What the Puck around the world?
Yeah.
Beautiful. Do you want me to go, or do you want to keep knitting, or do you want to go?
I can go. I just got to the end of a row.
So perfect timing. All right, I will sip on some coffee.
Yes.
Well, you take me somewhere.
Give your voice a little rest.
Yeah, it needs it.
We are gonna stay on theme with this lovely below zero weather.
It's fucking freezing, y'all.
It is so cold.
It is actively below zero right now.
Like, I'm very glad that I have the new vehicle that I have. Because if I still had the van, there was no way I was gonna be coming over. One, that van sucks coming over the bridge, and any form of precipitation, let alone icy roads. And two, I don't think that thing would have started at all.
I am actively following all this. I have to go. I'm going to a massage. Not have to go. I get to go to a massage. I'm very excited.
Yay!
But I'm actively a little anxious to see if my car starts. Because the last 2 times I've gone to get my oil changed have been like, yeah, you might want to consider getting a new battery soon.
Uh-oh.
So I'm like, oh, fuck.
Yeah, maybe when we're done recording, go start it. Just let it run for a little bit.
That's my plan. I think it will be fine. I haven't had any issues with it. They said, like, your battery's, like, functional. It's just nearing the end of its life. So my plan is the next oil change is to get a new battery, but I don't need an oil change till, like, midwinter. So
that's fair. Yeah. So with all the icky coldness, it made me think of this trick my mom did when I was, like, I would say 5 or 6, where she took a cup of boiling water and she threw it outside while it was, like, sub-zero temperatures, and then
you make snow.
Yeah, it just instantly, like, turned to steam, and then, like, and then it instantly froze.
Yes,
Just
I have totally done this before.
Yeah. So thinking of that, I was like, oh, what are some other cool, like, winter phenomena that happen?
I love it.
When we get into these
it.
weird sub-zero temperatures. Because I've also done, like, frozen bubbles, because you can take bubble solution, blow that out into the snow, and then they just freeze. And they turn into, like, little, like, pebble things that you can hold.
Yes, they're super cool. And if you, like, find a way to keep your camera from dying, but, like, take, like, time lapse of it, it's so cool to watch.
That's super cool. Also, forever snowflakes are cool.
Ooh.
This was a project my 6th grade teacher had us do.
This I've not heard about.
Yeah, you take she had us do it this way, and I'm sure there's other ways that you can do it. You get a photo, like a little photo frame, you take the back off of it so it's still the glass, and then while it's actively snowing, you bring it outside and you let a couple snowflakes like land on it, and then you put it in a spot where it's still cold enough to like keep the snowflake intact, like on the thing. It helps if you let the picture frame sit outside for a bit, so it's not warm.
That makes sense.
That way it's still
Let
the same
it get
temp.
to that cold temperature.
Yeah, and then you take Elmer's glue, pour it over the snowflake, let that set, and then that traps it.
Interesting.
And it's a forever snowflake.
That's cool.
Yeah.
I love that.
It's like what? And I'm sure there's other ways to do it because it makes me think of Leonard from Big Bang Theory. He brings Penny back a snowflake from the Antarctic, and it's like encased in like I think in resin.
I feel like you could freeze a snowflake in resin. I bet.
There's ways to do it. Science.
We love it.
I found these peculiar formations from an article by the Smithsonian that had interviewed Brian Jackson, who is a meteorologist with the National Ocean and Atmospheric Administration, or NOAA, who has dedicated who has dedicated his career.
It's ironic because we're going to talk about NORAD later in one of my
Aha! Look at us tying things together.
stories. We always do.
Somehow.
There's always some weird brain vibe connection that connects our stories somehow.
It's cool.
I love it.
So Brian, or Jackson, he has like completely dedicated his career to the study of snow and ice. So like it gets some momentum.
It's like a snow tumbleweed.
Pretty much.
Cool.
Yeah.
I love that.
And so the formation starts moving. It continues to grow, and especially if it's windy and there's enough gravity to keep it rolling down a hill. Jackson, who was the meteorologist I was interviewed, warns that conditions needs to be practically perfect for snow rollers to form. It can't be too windy, or else it'll blow apart. Otherwise, if it's not strong enough, obviously it's not going to move. Typically, 30 miles per hour is the sweet spot, depending on how deep and aggressive the snow is. And these things can get big.
Imagine that fucker cheese.
Yeah.
Like the cheese rolling festival, but
but snowballs.
snow.
Yep. Okay. So places where you could probably spot a snow roller or walking snowball right now, have like top of like Lake. Wow, there's a list of spots. Lake Vermilion in the Greater Sudbury, Ontario. Also, like spots in like Rocky Mountains, Colorado, or I would imagine a lot in like Kansas, like open prairies.
I feel like Lake Superior, like it's big enough and open enough. You get enough wind.
That's true.
Although I don't know that it doesn't fully freeze over. So.
Yeah, it doesn't always fully freeze over, and I don't know if you would get enough of the correct snow type because it's like 2 separate layers. Uh-oh.
We have a burrower.
We got a burrower.
Nina said, I want under the blanket, bitch. It's cold out here.
But yeah, I'm just imagining a little, like, tumbleweed of snow just, like, following along. Or, like, you're just sitting there on your porch. You see a snowball on one side of your yard, and then it just...
That'd be fucking wild.
You're like, So, if you didn't know any better, the snowball's alive.
The snow's haunted. We need to exercise the snow.
This one I think is probably the most alien-like, where you could definitely be like, what's going on? This and the second one, I guess. Ice circles. You can
Interesting.
take a look at that. It's like a perfectly circular patch.
It's like
just
crop circles, but ice.
Exactly.
I don't know. That one would fucking freak me out.
Yeah, it's strange.
I'd be like, that is where a UFO landed.
Often spotted on lakes, ponds, rivers, and other slow-moving bodies of water, ice circles look like frost-coated lily pads floating on the water's surface. In actuality, ice circles occur when moving water forces ice to slowly rotate. What's happening here is shear. When on one side of the ice you have water that's moving faster on the other side, causing the ice to rotate. So you got like
so it's like spinning the ice.
pretty much so like the current
and
is
then
moving
erosion and shit happens.
Exactly.
Okay, I'm following.
The result is an eddy current, like a whirlpool. Jackson explains that there are two ways for ice forms to circle. The first happens when there's an ice in a stationary area, but a change in water speed due to a topographic force, such as a bend in the river, causes the ice to rotate until it forms the shape of a circle. The other instance occurs when a hunk of ice breaks off an ice sheet that's located in a rotation zone. The water surrounding will then cause it to rotate, naturally forming into a circle as any pointed edges start to grind down as they brush against the surrounding ice.
Makes sense.
Yeah. The Westbrook Circle stands out for significance, which is like this one, because of how
That's
massive.
freaking huge, yeah.
Massive. And you can see there's a little spot where people can just go up and...
Yeah, and you can see, like,
out on it.
in comparison to, like, the trees in the background, how fucking massive this is.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Most ice circles are only a fraction of this size and crop up on the surfaces of lakes and ponds and rivers in areas known for reaching frigid temperatures in winter, such as Canada, the United States, and Scandinavia. So
That makes sense.
Lake Superior definitely could
If it had the right
potentially.
momentum.
So who knows? There might be some spots up here that could have it.
Yeah.
And then lastly, we have the penitents.
I've seen these.
Are they cool?
They're so cool.
like they just
Like ice spheres.
yeah, like daggers, like stalactites.
Yes,
or
that's what
stalagmites. Because stalagmites might reach the ceilings, stalactites hang tight to the ceiling.
See, I can never remember how to remember that. Now I know.
Mm-hmm. So penatites or Neves penatites are spikes of hardened snow or ice that form in arid environments, such as the high deserts found in the Andes in South America. The name comes from the spike's resemblance to worshippers kneeling in penance for their sins. Penatites can vary in size, but in some cases they can reach heights of approximately 13 feet.
Damn.
Yeah, so they get big. I'm just like imagining, like if you had like a whole bunch of these like in a kind of a tight area, it could make like a really cool like maze.
That'd be super
Or like a
cool.
labyrinth.
To go like wander through. Unless one fell on you. Then that would suck.
That would very much suck. So how do they form? Jackson says that penatites happen when snow or ice sublimates, going directly from being a solid to a gas, since there's little or no water vapor in the air. As the sun causes evaporation to occur, the result is the development of depressions, leaving a spiky forest of snow formations that look like pinnacles.
Super cool.
I know. This would definitely be something I would want to see. I would suffer and be a little cold just to see this. I think this is one I would.
If it was a short walk.
If it was a short walk. One of the best spots to see these craggy structures are the Chilean Andes. However, they have been known to rise up on Mount Rainier in Washington, and even far, far away from Earth on the surface of Europa, one of Jupiter's moons.
Aha.
So maybe this is alien related if we're getting into
Maybe.
space. So yeah, there's some cool, icy, cool phenomena that happen around the world.
Super cool.
Yeah.
Super, super interesting. I feel smarter somehow
Yes.
after that. I'm not going to make you feel smarter with mine, though. We are definitely leaning hard into... let's just say if you are a monster lover, book reader, you're going to really enjoy this segment.
All right. Monsters.
All right. So I ended up down a interesting side of TikTok
Oh boy. As one does.
recently. Actually, I had heard of this obviously before, but I got sucked down the videos of this year's festival.
Okay.
So I had written that since this is our holiday season episode, I wanted to include at least one festive feature to put us in the holiday spirit. But since this is Weird Shit Wednesday, we're not talking about cozy fireside festivals or feel-good lights.
Nope.
No, we're going to talk about an annual festival held worldwide where you might be chased through the streets by people in masks, ringing bells, and carrying birch switches.
Ah, Krampus!
We are going to talk about Krampusnacht.
Ah.
And specifically the festivals that are held annually around the world.
Fun.
Which I will show you. I did save some videos that I will share to our Instagram from this year's Krampusnacht.
Okay.
But I'll share them with you afterwards because we're using my phone to record this. So, to understand Krampusnacht, first we need to know about the beast who the festival is named after. Krampus is a horned anthropomorphic figure who, in the Central and Eastern Alpine folklore tradition, is said to accompany St. Nicholas on visits to children during the night of December 5th, immediately before the Feast of St. Nicholas on December 6th. Mm-hmm. In this tradition, St. Nicholas rewards well-behaved children with small gifts, while Krampus punishes badly behaved ones with birch rods. So he beats children. It's fine. Krampus is usually featured as a man with horns, with one grotesque human foot and 1 foot of a goat.
Okay.
He's typically covered in black hair and has very long snake or dragon-like tongue.
That's a interesting choice.
These qualities have increasingly made Krampus a character for horror costumes and films.
Yes.
Including the movie Krampus, which is exquisite, by the way.
I've actually not seen it.
It's one of my favorite horror movies. It's so creepy, but it's so well done.
All right.
Germany, in particular, is where this all began. And Germany celebrates the Krampus festival, known as Krampusnacht, on the evening of December 5th annually, where people dressed as the fearsome horned Krampus creature parade through the streets in an event called a Krampuslauf, which is a Krampus parade.
Hooray!
These parades are a tradition where costume Krampus figures, often carrying birch switches, give a final warning to naughty children, or women, before St. Nicholas Day on December 6th. The most famous festival in Germany is held in Munich, which features hundreds of participants in elaborate costumes. They may look frightening at first glance, but those demon-like figures are completely harmless. That is if you've been good this year. 300 masked Krampuses, the beast-like devil, stalk through the streets in Munich every year, scaring everyone in their path during this Krampus run.
All right.
And there are, people flock from all over the world to watch this.
I love it.
And they will grab you from the crowd and spank you.
Okay.
They will.
So if you go, you need to make sure
You have to.
You
are consenting to being spanked.
by showing up.
They're not going to hurt you.
Yeah, but by
like-
showing up, you are consenting.
That's why I ended up on the side of Monster Lover TikTok, because the women went feral for this year. Of hello, sir. And I will say, there's one particular video where I get it.
Okay.
Because there was a man getting ready for the Krampus Festival, and he's 6'6", broad-shouldered, good-looking dude in this giant, elaborate costume, puts on this fucking long-tongued mask, and then grabs women and spanks them. And I was like, I kind of get it. I kind of get it. I am not in the romance, not monster book genre much. But I kind of got it. In this instance, I was like, I can understand the monster lovers for a moment. So the Krampus run specifically dates back some 500 years, ranging from the Alpine regions. In the 16th century, the Klaubofs would march, which is what they call the Krampus actors, would march through villages on the eve of St. Nicholas, scaring children who misbehaved with whips and ropes. Which, again, kinky.
Yep.
Not the children part, obviously, but whips and ropes. Kinky. While the kind St. Nicholas would hand out sweets and presents to those who'd been good. In Munich, school teachers, choir masters, and older students from Frauenkirch and St. Peter's churches would dress up as Krampus and St. Nicholas and reportedly cause unrest. So much unrest that the police would have to be called. Since then, the run has been remained a tradition annually. The annual Krampus run through the Christmas market in Munich is one of the most famous in the region. Young and old alike dress up as Krampus, donning carved masks, goat horns, furs, long hair, before taking over the streets on the Sunday after Nicholas's Day.
Mm.
The elaborate costumes differ based on the character portrayal, with some dressing up as the Perchten, a figure with 4 or 10 horns meant to drive away winter, and others as Krampus, wearing the double-horned mask. These decorative costumes are not only scary, but also heavy and expensive, costing anywhere between 1,800 and 2,500 euros, which is a lot of fucking money.
That's a lot of money.
The mask alone can weigh up to 10 kilograms, and often causes most runners to be out of breath following the run.
Yeah, I would imagine.
And then I saved a couple pictures of some of the more detailed.
Those are so cool.
They're so cool. But to finalize this, because obviously it's such a famous tradition that, like, there's not a ton of information on it.
Mm-hmm.
I did find a little story of St. Nicholas and Krampus written by J.A. Hernandez, he is a horror writer, American horror writer, that I thought was cute. So I'm going to read you a little story about Krampus that I thought was funny. And it goes like this. It's called Old Nick's New Tricks. Snow crunched under heavy black boots, leaving a fresh icy trail next to cloven hoof prints that disappeared in the dimly lit suburban streets. A thick blanket of fresh powder rested on homes and cars, trees and shrubs, mailboxes, and blinking lawn decorations, softening the sharp edges and angles of the entire neighborhood into rolling mounds and hills that sparkled in the moonlight. Scattered snowflakes hung in the air, suspended like a photo of whirling snow globes. The 2-story homes with short driveways and narrow yards huddled together so closely it was impossible to tell where the Christmas lights of one ended and another began. "Thou art late," a deep voice from a shadowed figure stood atop the rooftop. "Oh, boo-hoo-hoo," Santa said as he took hold of the rope dangling from the front porch. "You know how hard it is to read green street signs with a red-nosed light?
Yeah.
Things were easier when there weren't so many addresses," he grunted as he tugged the rope with both hands. "Or so many damned people," Santa sucked in his belly 2 sizes smaller and started to climb. When he reached the top, a fur-covered hand grasped his forearm and hoisted him to the roof. "Krampus," Santa said with a nod. "Nicholas," Krampus said, nodding back. Wherefore not bringeth the sled upon the roof?" Blitzen got a stick up his ass from too many close calls with solar panels.
Ah!
Poor creature, Krampus stepped into the pulsing lights of an inflatable nativity scene and scratched one of his horns with the tip of his obsidian claws. "What shalt we do here?" "Beats me. I can't even make out street numbers. All the light pollution from the gaudy garbage." Santa motioned at the candy canes the size of 2-car garages that had toppled over, its lights piercing through a foot of snow covering it. "Makes it hard to see anything anyway. On top of that, no one leaves their porch lights on for Christmas because Amazon doesn't deliver. Ingrates," Santa sighed. "Here," he withdrew a folded paper from his jolly jacket and shoved it at Krampus, sending a pocket of suspended snowflakes into a flurry of motion. "You try working out this cursed thing for once." "They knoweth I cannot." Krampus held up both hands, shaking his head. "'Tis thy night." He reached into a burlap sack on his back and pulled out a bunch of birch twigs tied together with twine. "Bid me, who's snotty, and I shall do my own job." "Far as I'm concerned, they can all go to hell." Santa snatched the bundle of twigs and started up the slope toward the roof's ridge. After a few steps, he stopped, his arms falling limply at his sides. The bundle of twigs dropped from his fingers and tumbled into snow. "Does no one have a chimney anymore?" "Thou art truly fusty, mine own cousin," Krampus slapped Santa's shoulders. "Waiteth till thee seeth the hags art flying round these days." Santa grumbled, reaching in the front of his pants. A moment later, his hand emerged, gripping a long wooden handle with a thick steel wedge of a blade. "Better watch out," he chuckled, low and menacing, as he raised the axe overhead. "I'm coming to town. Or I'm not coming to town, I'm already here."
Oh my god, I love that so much.
Isn't that cute?
That was cool.
I love it. I was like, go Santa.
He's a sassy bitch.
Santa is a sassy bitch. But yes, I thought that was a fun way to end
Yes.
my What in the World.
Very nice. Very nice.
Yes. And it actually ties in nicely to my spooky spotlights.
All right. Well, it's cool that you ended the story because I'm also going to be going into
Yay!
a story.
Tell me a
as
story.
well. Yeah. So I was trying to find something festive again, and I was like, I wonder what are some like ghosts. I was trying to find like a Christmas or like a ghost themed like Christmas story.
Yep. Other than
or a Christmas themed
Christmas
ghost
Carol.
story. Yeah, other than a Christmas Carol.
Because we'd be here all day for that one.
And in my search, I typed in like Christmas ghost story, and what popped up was Ghost Stories for Christmas with Christopher Lee. And it's
I'm here for it.
yes. I was like, excuse me? Excuse me? So in my deep dive of this, I discovered that with Christopher Lee, it was originally an audiobook of him recording a selection of stories written by M.R. James, which is a medieval British scholar.
Okay.
And then later, this audiobook was then adapted into a BBC short mini-series where he's narrating the stories, but there's also actors acting out the stories.
We need to find this.
I know.
And watch it.
I think you can watch it on Amazon Prime.
Okay, I'm going to be doing some Googling.
Yeah.
We'll have a Quest for Camelot and
Ghost Stories
for Christmas.
with
night at
Christopher
some point.
Lee.
I
Who
fucking love
perfect.
it. So perfect.
Yeah. So I did a little deep dive to learn a little bit more about where the stories came from.
Okay.
So we're going to learn about Montague Rhodes James.
Okay.
Or
Great
M.R.
name.
Yeah. Yeah, great name. Or M.R. James, who is the author of said ghost stories.
I love this.
So M.R. James lived from 1862 to 1936. He was a British medieval scholar and academic who was famous for writing ghost stories that have haunted readers for over a century.
Hell yeah.
James did not consider himself a typical horror writer. He saw ghost stories as entertainment, often preferring a more subtle approach with eerie terror over explicit gore or melodrama.
Okay.
So he was like very subtle in his writing, like
I kind of
like
prefer
making
that.
like making the just inferences to what was going on and making the reader or the listener come to their own conclusions about what's kind of happening. And I think that really highlights in the example of one of the stories I will go into a little bit. So while he didn't invent the idea of telling ghost stories at Christmas, which was apparently has been a practice older than Charles Dickens.
Interesting.
Yeah, like that was like something that people would just do, is tell ghost stories at Christmas to college friends during the holidays, and this is where his tradition kind of became legendary. So each year he'd write a new story.
Okay.
And that's where he got this big collection.
I love it.
His.
Here for it.
His stories often feature scholars or antiquaries in ordinary settings where supernatural elements intrude in unsettling ways, and has a blend of normalcy mixed with uncanny that influenced later writers such as H.P. Lovecraft and helped define the antiquarian ghost story. So like when you think of like just classic
ghost stories.
Mm-hmm.
I love that, and I love Lovecraft.
Mm-hmm. So it's kind of like, I get the vibe that M.R. James is like the Shakespeare for the horror and ghost genre.
That's what it kind of feels like, yeah.
Mm-hmm. He's like the grandpa.
The grandfather of ghost stories.
Exactly.
I love it.
So as I mentioned before, James published several collections of stories in his life that the BBC later then adapted many of them into A Ghost Story for Christmas. And that's a series that's hosted then none other than Christopher Lee, helped keeping the tradition alive in modern times. And this goes into a little bit about how over a century ago he was the provost at King's College in Cambridge. He would gather a select group of students and colleagues into his rooms every Christmas Eve and then give a candlelight performance over his unsettling ghost stories.
I love that.
Christopher Lee, he creates this spine-chilling atmosphere in the miniseries of those evenings as he kind of dons the mantle of M.R. James, like he's pretending to be M.R. James as he's narrating it. And like just his voice alone is perfect because it's like it's deep, and like his cadence when he's speaking, it's very unique.
It's perfect for an audiobook.
Absolutely, yeah, for an audiobook.
And I'm not even an audiobook girly. Mm-hmm. Like, give me a physical copy, but like, he would be fantastic for an audiobook.
Absolutely. So in A Christmas or A Ghost Story for Christmas, it features 4 of M.R. James stories, which he has like over 50 that are like documented and cataloged, but it focuses on 4 of them, which includes, the first one is the Stalls of Barchester, pursuit, where in this story, while pursuing the papers of the Archdeacon Haynes, our narrator discovers a hidden history of intrigue, murder, a sinister cat, and some very strange ecclesiastical carvings. So some brief descriptions of what the story entails. And another episode features the ash tree. It's a short description of it. When Sir Matthew Fell, Squire of Castringham Hall, testifies against suspected witch Mrs. Mothershoal, she is found guilty and hanged. From that day forward, a series of tragic events afflicts the Fell family, all seemingly linked to the old ash tree that grows on the hall grounds. Next episode is number 13. While staying in room 12 of the Golden Lion Inn in the Danish town of Viborg, historian Mr. Anderson is perturbed by the mystery of the room next door. Who or what is the inhabitant of number 13?
That one sounds interesting.
And funny enough, I'm actually going to go a little deeper into that one here in just a second.
Love it, love it.
And then the final episode of the miniseries is A Warning to the Curious. This horrific account of an archaeologist named Paxton who takes the fateful decision to excavate the last legendary East Anglian crowns and unleashes a terrifying supernatural force.
What have we when are we going to learn that we don't unearth things?
It's like when we
leave shit where you found it.
It's like, put it back.
Put that shit back where you came from, or so help me.
So help me. Help me. Bye. So yeah, I definitely considered reading one of the full stories, but like when I found a copy of them, I'm like, ooh, this is gonna be too long. It would have taken, yes, they're considered short stories,
but they're still
still pretty lengthy, and we probably would have been here the whole entire episode just for that one.
Valid. I had a similar struggle with mine, which I will get into when we get to mine.
However, it was just too dang interesting, and I was like, ooh, yes, this is good. So I'm going to be giving a Cliff Notes synopsis of my favorite out of the stories that I read, which was number 13.
That one sounds the most interesting.
It gives me The Shining vibes.
Yes, like the hotel and the like. I like it. I love The Shining.
So here's a brief overview of number 13 by Mr. M.R. James.
Love it.
A scholarly man named Mr. Anderson travels to the Mr. Anderson.
It's a great movie too.
I've actually not seen that one. I live under a rock, okay?
We're gonna have an entire movie day.
Yes, please.
At some point. We're gonna watch Gosford Camelot. We're gonna watch Matrix, and we're gonna watch Jurassic Park. Yeah. It's happening.
I've seen the first Jurassic Park all the way through. I've just not seen any of the other ones. And I've seen The Matrix.
Well, that's what I was referencing, was The Matrix.
Oh. It's been like, okay, I'll preface. I've seen The Matrix. It's been years since I've watched them.
Okay. Well, we'll have a Matrix rewatch.
Okay. Refresh my brain.
Because Neo Anderson is Keanu's character.
Duh.
And the guy, I can't remember his name right now.
Right.
Was Mr. Anderson.
Right. That's right.
That's what I was referencing.
Gotcha.
Tangent.
I'm disappointed in myself for
I'm
missing
disappointed
that.
in you as well.
I will redeem myself. So our scholarly man named Mr. Anderson travels to the Danish town of Viborg to research historical documents. He stays at an old inn where he notices something strange. Although the room numbers go up to 14, there is no room 13, supposedly due to superstition. Soon, Anderson begins experiencing eerie disturbances in his own room, number 12, furniture moving on its own, the room seeming to shrink, and the shadow of a mysterious figure dancing at night.
Intriguing.
One night he realizes that room 13 appears where there was previously an empty space. So like the door and the number just show up in the hall. But only in the darkness. So like he like leaves the room for a short period of time, like at night to go get something, and then notices like in the dark that the door is there.
Okay.
The room seems unnaturally small and contains a sinister occupant.
Interesting.
The supernatural room even presses against his own, trying to intrude. So it's kind of like pressing. The room is like moving and intruding into his space.
Says, I'm taking over.
This is my spot. Eventually, the innkeeper and other witnesses, or others, witness the phenomena themselves. In daylight, room 13 vanishes, and only room 12 and room 14 remain.
Interesting.
Afterward, the hauntings stop. Anderson discovers an old document hinting that a sorcerer once occupied a now vanished room in the building, suggesting a lingering supernatural imprint.
Interesting. A sorcerer. Oof, ooh. He made it vanish.
Yes, absolutely.
I love that.
It's super cool. And like when I was reading it, like it is older English, so it takes a little bit to kind of get used to the prose.
Fair.
But it's very intriguing. So this paired with like his James's language, the atmospheric detail he adds, and the ability to let the reader's imagination kind of fill in the blanks. This is what makes like his tales like timeless and
old
eerie.
English Christmas tales are like the creepiest of them all.
Exactly. So
like
no wonder they adapted it.
I love it.
So no wonder the BBC made a little mini series.
I love the BBC.
So yeah, happy holidays. And
I love it. Well, we're gonna keep on theme with that because I also have. I'm actually just going to read you a story.
Okay.
For my spooky spotlight because, as I said, I was kind of thinking like festive, and on Small Business Saturday, I visited my favorite bookstore, and they had this book just sitting there staring at me, which you can't see it, but it is a skeleton covered in Christmas lights wearing a Santa hat, and it is called The Anthology of the Damned, Twisted Yuletide.
I love it.
And this is the back, I'll read you the back because I think it does a good job describing it. It says, 13 Grinchy tales to read by the fire as you watch for Krampus. Featuring classic tales from horror masters such as M.R. James.
Hey!
He's in here. And William Douglas O'Connor. Plus newer horror authors. This anthology collection harkens back to the era where scary stories were part of the holidays. It also features horrific chapter artwork as a gift to you. Ghost hauntings, holiday fiends, and Christmastide terrors. And those are just the authors. This set of spooky tales is a perfect reading material for lounging near the tree, between sips of eggnog, or ignoring your family at nativity gatherings.
I'm on that one.
Each author in this collection knows what lurks behind the Yule logs. Pick it up now if you dare. And it is... I've read a couple of the stories. I will say, my one critique is... I could not get through the first story in this because of the way in which it's written. The very first story in this is called Santa Claus versus the Krampus, or How Mikey T. Jr. and I Saved Christmas by Joyce Style, or by, John Helfers. It is, I didn't realize this was a signed copy. Damn.
Ooh.
All right. I just opened it up and there's a signature on it that says enjoy. From
nice.
I did not realize that when I bought it. The first story in here I had to skip because it is written in the style where it's written phonetically and not grammatically.
Oh, I hate that.
And I could not get through it.
Those are hard just because the pacing of that style is really
well, and
interesting.
It's genuinely like, yeah. But the artwork is phenomenal.
That is cool.
There's some really cool artwork in here. But I'm kind of curious now which one of the M.R. James.
Yeah, I was just about to ask which one.
The Treasure of Abbot Thomas. It's the fourth story in here.
Cool.
So I will have to read that one later. But, so I went through this and I was like, this would be fun to just pick a story from and read for my Spooky Spotlight because they're all creepy Christmas stories.
Yes.
What I quickly realized, however, though, is that, like you, some of these are rather long. Like 20 plus pages.
Yeah, that's a bit of a time.
So I narrowed it down to the 3 shortest, and I read through all of them. And one of them I was like, no, I'm not reading this because it gets really grotesque in like vomit way.
Ew.
And I was like, nope. The other one I just didn't love. So I am going to, which I love the artwork for this one.
Oh, it's fun.
I am going to read you the story, Origins of the Santa Tracker, a horror story for Christmas Eve by Joshua Pruitt.
Okay.
And this one is really interesting. So, get your cocoa cozy, and here we go. here is the story.
Here
by
is
Joshua
the story of Santa. He's gonna...
And the artwork is a skeleton Santa Claus holding a gift in his skeleton hand.
That's cool.
It's actually really cool artwork.
I hope this is actual hand-drawn art and not AI. I've been worried about that lately and like trying to...
I think it's hand-drawn.
I
From
hope.
what I read in the book, it feels... Because it has a very similar vibe. But I don't... It's hard to tell.
Okay.
I'm hoping for hand-drawn art.
I am too. I'm just paranoid about that
so...
now.
And it's getting harder and harder to tell, too.
Mm-hmm.
But we're going to hope that whoever compiled this, which it doesn't... Justin Rose, we're hoping we do not do AI art.
Mm-hmm.
This looks like legit watercolor.
That looks like watercolor.
But anyway, here is The Origins of the Santa Tracker, a horror story for Christmas by Joshua Pruitt. My granddad told me this wild story about the birth of the NORAD Santa Tracker once. I didn't believe him, but most of it checks out. You can look it up. I think I've got the dates right. It scared me a little when I was a kid, just weird stuff. Things I didn't really believe until I dug into it after the fact. Only that just made it worse. That night, there by the fire, I just set a few handmade cookies in a plastic tumbler half full of milk on the wooden TV tray just to Granddad's side. I wasn't quite 10 years old, but so much older than 9. I'd left my security blanket and sucking my thumb and even a few toys well behind already. The world had just started to blossom in front of me. My life was coming, and my granddad, like the station master, was signaling with his voice and the furrow of his brow that the train was coming. So slowly, rocking in his old chair, he laid some track, some history, his history. My grandpa, Oliver, was born in Montrose, Colorado, 1934. As a teen, he was big into trucks and cars, and like most boys in town, dreamed of being in the military. Later, he won't, quote-unquote, pass muster, as he put it, for his physical evaluation when he applies. But in the interim, he's still dreaming big, his interest moving from wheels to wings, catching fire December 24th, 1948, when he reads a strange news article in the local paper. Oliver is 14, now thinking about his future when he comes across what is supposed to be an official United States Air Force communique that's tracking Santa's sleigh. 8 reindeer at 14 feet, the whole bit. It's kiddie stuff, and he knows it. Only friends of his has seen things in the skies. This is where things get weird. Now, maybe someone at the USAF was bored, or just thought it'd be fun to get a little press, a little ink in the local, but the 14K sticks in Oliver's craw funny, and he won't let it go. It's too specific. 14. He looks at some maps he's got, scrounges up a free one from the nearby Esso gas station, another for state parks, whatever he can grab, hunting for points of interest. 14. Then it hits him like a freight train. The 14ers. He had to explain it to me because I didn't follow. Colorado's got 58 mountain peaks over 14 feet. Most of any state, and they're called the 14ers.
Mm-hmm.
Granddad smirked a bit as he laid it all out. Apparently, outside of being young car enthusiasts, there's not much to do in Colorado as a teen except sneak out with your dad's hooch, get in trouble with similarly minded boys and girls, or just grab a blanket and stare up at the stars.
Yep, tracks.
Yep, accurate. As someone who grew up in a small town, can relate. He painted this picture for me. Skies so clear you can count constellations and go cross-eyed staring up at the big, bright black abyss as it's staring right back at you.
Yep.
Only some of young Oliver's friends had seen more than constellations. They'd seen stars, streaks and bright lights moving across the same peaks, all about 14 feet, near as they can figure. At first, when he hears the stories, he assumes they'd just been drinking too much. But then one night he gets an itch he can't scratch. They've got him wondering, thinking, dreaming with his eyes open. What if there was something, or better yet, some things up there in the dark? What if it was real? So, late one night, heart beating like a cottontail running for its life, 14-year-old granddad sneaks out and walks, then runs miles out of town, and finds a good spot under the stars. He lays low, real low, tall grass brushing his arms and the top of his head, and keeps still, slowing his heartbeat, letting the bright ocean of stars pull gently at his eyes. And sure enough, he sees something. Then he goes back the night after, and the night after that, and he sees more of something up there in the dark. Not like ships or saucers, nothing like the posters from the local matinee, just lights that speed. And he's not scared, he's thrilled. The sky just got way more interesting. He directs his passion for engineering towards aeronautics, and suddenly his whole life takes a completely different direction. I mentioned once him being 14, discovering a connection between the article, the 14 case sightings, and the 14ers was pretty coincidental. He just smiled. Then he asked me if I thought a USAF dispatch about Santa might be a convenient cover for something else, something much worse. I didn't answer. He asked, what's harder to believe in, Santa or a conspiracy to cover up evidence of an imminent alien threat? He just smiled. We skip ahead a bit.
Yeah.
It's 1955, and 21-year-old granddad is trying to get work at Colorado Springs CONAD, C-O-N-A-D, Continental Air Defense Command, the precursor to NORAD, as we know it today. Security is tight, hard to even get a foot in the door. Oliver gets discouraged, but these sky lights never go away, the gravity pulling him back 2-3 nights a week, just watching. But a young man in his 20s needs more than hobbies, and if CONAD's doors are closed, he just needs money where he can find it. So Oliver gets part-time work at the local paper, the Colorado Springs Gazette. A lot of grunt work, taking ads over the phone, setting type for local retailers. It's not glamorous, but it fills his days, and Granddad feels like he's a bit more connected to the outside world. Then, December 1955, something bizarre happens. And I swear this is true. Again, you can look it up. Oliver helps set an ad up for the local Sears. Something cute for the holiday. Kids could call in and talk to Santa.
Aw.
Kitty stuff. Promotion. But something goes wrong.
Oh.
A single digit is off on the phone number. The calls never connect to the small employee break room at Sears, where a Colorado Springs drama student waits and waits and waits. Santa as elf getting into character for a call that never comes.
Aw.
Instead, every call placed to the number in the ad goes directly to CONAD and Crew Commander Harry Shoup's desk, who gets so fed up talking to kiddies about Santa that his team take turns making up Santa's current location, telling stories, and finally getting into it, having fun on a cold weeknight in Colorado. And just like that, legend lays out the birth of the Santa Tracker. But here's the kicker. Granddad swore up and down he wrote the right number down. He's a 21-year-old kid hungry for work. Mistakes like that cost paper's money, and cost kids like him their job. Someone gave him that number. The odds that a single-digit mistake would connect directly to CONAD, while not astronomical, are still very high, probability-wise at least. But even that math doesn't work when you factor in the Santa thing back in '48, also being connected to Yusef, or Oliver's involvement at all. Why then? Why him? I brought this up once, maybe twice, and each time Granddad leaned close and whispered, someone wanted those coincidences. He said, they want people, kids, watching the skies every winter, and they wanted to get that data back to a higher authority. Someone was looking out for us. Little pitchers have big ears, he said, and even larger eyes. Asking adults to watch the skies for the Russians would have just fueled more Cold War paranoia. This was 1955 after all, but asking kids to watch the skies for Santa, it wasn't Red Russians they were worried about, my grandpa told me. There are things in the skies over Colorado, and they've been there for a very long time. There's history there. As of August, there's been over 100 sightings in Colorado this year alone. The NORAD Santa Tracker was never just for fun. It's an early warning system. From 1955 on, the tracker is tradition and public knowledge. Granddad said 2 years later, CONAD got a big upgrade, becoming North American Aerospace Defense Command, official on the September 12, 1957. From Continental to Aerospace, why? Why Colorado? Visibility? No, he told me. The lights, the regular sightings, the 14ers, four corners, ley lines too, all of it. Colorado's an epicenter. Every winter it's the same. They come back, he told me, and we need to stay vigilant. So Santa's an alien? I blurted out once. Granddad put his rough hand on mine. You're old enough now, he said. Old enough for what, I thought. He said, what is Santa, son? Who is he? A jolly old elf who brings you gifts? In his sleigh, pulled by flying deer, bending the rules of time and space, bringing joy to children? He stopped then. Only he comes with a warning, Granddad said. How many gift-giving angels come with warnings? Too many, I said. Good answer, he smiled. Then he leaned back and took off his glasses. For a moment, everything stopped. It seemed like the whole world was hanging on his every word. The stories and songs are warnings, Granddad laughed. I bet you didn't know he wasn't always chubby. I listened. Sure, Granddad said. He had a bowl full of jelly back in 'twas the night before Christmas in the early 1800s, but the red-clad, white-haired, fat version was invented by Coca-Cola and illustrator Haddon Stunblum in the 30s. He waited again, the room losing air for a moment. Then he leaned forward. The warnings are for a Santa you don't know, continued Granddad. Why do you think Santa needs you to stay asleep, to stay in our beds, he asked. So we don't see you wrapping our gifts, I said. He smiled and ruffed my hair. Smart boy. But what if? He got up mid-thought as if he needed to chase the story around the room as he told it. A speeding hare always just out of reach. Maybe we stay in bed for the same reason we tell you not to go into the woods at night. Granddad leaned against the fireplace, glaring at its fiery belly. Maybe that Santa isn't bringing anything. It's hunting. Bum, bum, bum. His face changed. My granddad was always a warm man, accessible. But when he told this story, he got colder, vulnerable. I could feel it. Think of the song, son, he said, and then he looked at me and his eyes turned pale. The fire in the fireplace had grown small, a whisper in the dark. I pulled my arms around me and lowered my chin, as if being smaller might keep me out of sight or keep me safe from the anxious tremble building in my belly. You better watch out. You better not cry. Better not pout. Granddad cleared his throat, sitting back down in his old rocking chair then. He sees you when you're sleeping. He knows when you're awake. He knows if you've been bad or good, so be good for goodness sake. Granddad leaned close to me then, eyes catching the last of the fire's light glowing. Stay in your bed, he said, because you're being hunted by something we can't stop. I couldn't breathe. He grabbed me then and hugged me close to his chest, his breath like peppermint and leather. He kept saying, I'm sorry, son. I'm sorry. Watch the tracker. Always watch the tracker. Then you'll know where it is. How close. Be ready. Ready for what? I asked, choking on my words as if they were too big for my mouth. When you're a kid, everything changes the moment you see fear in the face of an adult. But what I saw in my granddad's eyes that night was worse than fear, something older. Then suddenly he was done. Granddad shook it off, propped me up on my feet, and smiled at him again. What is it? I asked again. Tell me. Granddad took me by my shoulders and nodded into the big, oversized fireplace, a knowing smirk on his face. Whatever it is, I'm not sure milk and cookies are going to protect either of us from what's coming down that chimney tonight. Hey. Then he pulled an old shotgun into his lap. I hadn't even noticed it sitting by the fireplace, and he pushed me toward my bedroom. I have some presents left to wrap, he said, and I know you don't want to spoil the surprise. I went to bed that night, but I didn't sleep. In the morning, Granddad was gone. Fishing, my dad said, too quickly. But I knew he was lying. I would learn the truth a few weeks later. Christmas morning was a quiet one that day, strange, everyone going through the motions. Trying to cheer me up, Dad brought me his laptop. He wanted to show me the Santa tracker he'd found. It's NORAD, he said. That means it's real. He pointed to the screen and my stomach nodded. Santa was here last night, said Dad, pointing to the radar image. He was really here. But I didn't need to see the blinking red light. I could still smell the gunpowder in the air. Granddad warned me to be ready, and now I will be. Every year I get closer, and it does too. I just keep my eye on the NORAD Santa tracker, and I plan and I wait. I don't cry. I don't pout. I don't sleep, because Santa Claus is coming to town. Ah! The end. Ah! Isn't it so good?
It's spooky.
It's so spooky, but like,
I love it.
I love it. Yes, it is such a good story.
That makes me think of like that's the shit that Bobby would have been telling Sam
Yes.
and Dean.
That's exactly how I figured. Yes, I was like, oh my god, this is some supernatural stuff. But I fell in love with that story because I was like, it's just like kind of believable. In the sense of like, what is NORAD tracking? What is up in the skies? I mean, people report weird shit in the skies all the time. And then like, you know, stories of Santa are so... I've always maintained that song is creepy.
It's
he
very...
sees you when he's sleeping. He knows when you're awake. I'm sorry.
That's
what?
Weird. Like,
that's
why?
creepy. That is terrifying. So yeah, I thought that was a good spooky way to wrap up my segments for this month.
Love it. That was good.
All right, should we pull some tarot?
Yes.
Alrighty.
And give it a nice little quick shuffle.
Whoop, run away card.
No.
Card down.
Multiple cards down.
Oh, jeez.
Okay, let's try this way.
There you go.
I was trying to do it
You were trying to be all fancy with it. That's what you get.
I'm not fancy.
All right.
No.
This is a cool card.
That's definitely a first. Cool.
This is supposed to be Ethan Rain.
Is that Giles?
Like. No, that's one of the council. It's one of the witches.
Oh, that's right.
The Watchers Council.
Yes, that's right.
I think.
Like for a second, I was like, that's not Giles.
No, that's definitely one of the Watchers Council members.
Yeah. Okay. 4 chalices. I'm going to take a picture this time.
Yes. So in case I accidentally edit it out.
Okay.
I love it.
It has been documented.
I love it.
I know what I'm doing now.
I don't know what this one means, but I'm intrigued to find out.
We
gonna find out.
We go find out.
Beautiful. All right. Well, we have been Creepy Christmased.
Woohoo! We've got some... Watch out for snowballs. They might attack you. Maybe that's their plot. The walking snowballs are pushing you towards the carnivorous trees.
It feels legit.
It's a conspiracy, guys.
And Santa's coming from the sky to eat your ass.
Yep, everything just wants to eat us.
So lock your doors. If you have a fireplace, put a big ass fire in it and roast Santa alive. And try to survive Christmas.
Yeah, watch out for Krampus. Unless you're into that shit, I guess.
I mean, holidays, whatever you celebrate. And hope you survive the festive season.
Yes.
Yes.
Same.
And we'll see you in the new year.
See you in the new year.
Woo-hoo. Keep it weird, y'all.
Keep it weird.